as an ethnic group, the so-called Black American is on its last leg. Because that's basically what black women are saying to you. You bow to me, dumb nigga, or I'm gonna let us die off. I'm gonna either abort all the babies, not have any of the babies, or have babies for white men. And you are basically what your father is. We're sitting right now at something like 44% of black women have no children. 42% of black men have no children. Now, because of the poisons in the food, the black man's sperm is now the lowest count and the weakest of all men.
What?
We're looking at the fact that almost 100% of black women that get artificially inseminated to have a child, they choose the donor to be a white male. They choose the sperm of a white male. We are culturally self-deleting ourselves, and we are physically breeding ourselves out of existence. So what is your alternative, black man? Everything I'm about to say, you already know it to be true. You are a slave. You are a slave to money, to social economics, to status, to politics, to ideology. You have sold your soul to have a place in a world order that you should naturally oppose. The truth of the matter is we are doomed as an ethnic group. Forget about all this concept about race. It's not a real thing. But as an ethnic group, the so-called Black American is on its last leg. I'm going to try to explain this in several ways, so I want you to bear with me. Just give me a little while to get this out. In the practice of contracts, right, there is a concept known as BOTNA. I have to make sure I explain BOTNA correctly. BOTNA is the best alternative to a negotiated agreement. Basically, in simple terms, is what is your plan B? If you're negotiating with somebody, you have no leverage with that person if you have no plan B. Now, if you think about it, I did an old video where I say a conquered thing has no value, where I explain to men, I'm telling you, everything is going to come together. Every video I've ever done is going to make sense in this video. What I was saying was, if a woman knows that you have no options, she will dog you out. A conquered thing has no value. You have no leverage when you have no options. You have no leverage because options give you power. Pro-blackness lock black men into a belief that they only have to deal with black women, but black women don't share that belief. So they take and they use that as leverage against black men. And because you are helpless, because you're not going anywhere, and she knows you're not going anywhere, she can do and say whatever she want to do and say to you. And there's nothing you can do about it. And that's what BOTNA is. The black man has been put in a situation where he believes he has no better alternatives. So therefore, all of the leverage resides in black women. And they use it to abuse us. They basically hang over our heads the total extinction of the Black American ethnic group if we don't do what they tell us to do, how they tell us to do it, and when they tell us to do it. Look at the campaign, no voting. What you think that was? That is a threat that if you don't do what I want you to do, you're not going to have sex with me and make babies with me. That's a threat. What about the 4B movement? The only women you see in America talking about supporting the 4B movement are black women. I've seen maybe 12 videos of American women talking about supporting the 4B movement, and I tell you no lie, 10 of them were made by black women. The first, second, third, fourth, fifth time I heard a woman talking about the 4B movement in America were all black women. Because they're going to dangle that over your head because they believe that you have no alternative. In a recent community post, I said that the world is bigger than black women, my brothers. See, when you talk like I'm talking, they come at me and say I'm advocating on behalf of interracial dating and marrying. But the truth is, what alternative do you have? We're sitting right now at something like 44% of black women have no children. 42% of black men have no children. Now, because of the poisons in the food, the black man's sperm is now the lowest count and the weakest of all men.
What?
We're looking at the fact that almost 100% of black women, almost, that get artificially inseminated to have a child, they choose the donor to be a white male. They choose the sperm of a white male.
What the fuck?
We are already being bred out, people. And the only people that can save us is the black man, because we only reproduce ourselves. Y'all are going crazy with all these damn pro-blacks talking about interracial and biracial children ain't black. That's crazy. Do y'all realize that 90% of biracial children, you wouldn't even know they biracial?
Correct.
This is why y'all started coming up with all this craziness about how our hair look and stuff. I had curly hair, people. We have all types of texture of hair, people. We don't come in one damn style, bro. That is a myth. This is just something to justify trying to call anybody that don't look like Mabumbu out of the damn jungle, try to say that they are mixed and therefore not qualified to be black. This is craziness that we're going through, man. And all of this is done to us by us. We are culturally self-deleting ourselves, and we are physically breeding ourselves out of existence. So what is your alternative, black man? You gotta go on and mate. You have to make babies. You gotta make babies with whoever wants to make babies, but you gotta culturally raise those babies as a black person. And that becomes a problem, because a lot of y'all don't know what it's like to be a black man. Black men have participated in the downfall of our species because y'all have such internalized self-hatred towards your own selves that you push that into your daughters. You don't want to see your own daughters with a black man, because that's really the gist of it. That's really what it boils down to. And all of this is causing us to breed ourselves out of existence because we are not preparing our daughters to be mothers. We are not preparing our daughters to be wives. We're preparing our daughters to be doctors, to be lawyers, to be anything and everything except a wife. And we are the only people doing that. So you got to understand that we cannot let them dangle the threat of extinction over our head when the seeds of our people reside in you, black man. You ain't gonna do nothing but reproduce yourself. What are you waiting on? You ain't gonna do nothing but replicate yourself. You are God. You are the first of all creations. You are not a descendant ethnic group or descendant species. You didn't come from nobody. We came directly from the original source. Our only ancestors are the elementals. We are the first extra elemental beings to walk the earth. That's why in the Holy Quran, after Allah created man, he set man down next to the elemental beings called the jinn. And he gave the jinn a test question. The jinn couldn't answer. He asked man a test question. The man answered. And Allah said, you see, the man is superior to you, jinn. And the jinn bucked. He was Iblis. He said that I refuse to bow to him because I am made of fire. Fire. These were elemental beings. And we are extra elemental beings. What are we made out of? Pull up your periodical chart. That's what we made out of. We are made out of the elements of this planet, the elements of the universe. We are extra elemental beings, and every living creature is also, except one difference between them and us is us. We can build. We have the power of Allah in us. We are small gods. This is why the Holy Quran said that we are the Khalifa. We sit in the place of the Most High. We are all children of the Most High. Us, not everybody, us. Because we are the originals. So if you are the original, what you going to reproduce? What you going to reproduce? You can't reproduce nothing but yourself. So I'm telling you, as of now, you think that you have no better alternatives. So you're sitting there not having babies at all. You're sitting there in the red pill crying about these women. Move on. Go and have a life and keep our people alive. Culturally raise your kids to be black. Get away from European culture. That's another problem you have. We got to also understand that we are culturally killing ourselves. Because what really makes a people distinct is culture, not physical features, because the physical features vary too much. That's all based on phenotype, man. It varies too much. We don't look one way, bro, as original people. That's a myth. It's always been a myth. But it's a myth taught to us by Europeans because that's a part of their culture to categorize everybody like we donkeys or cattle or insects or something. We are original. That's our category. Original indigenous human beings of the planet Earth. That's our category. We don't need no exonyms. We don't need no endonyms. We don't need to respect taxonomy. We are the original people of the planet Earth. So I'm telling you, they are going to let us die off. Talk about your sisters. They're going to let us die off. If you don't get your mind together and get out here and start living and meeting women of other races. I mean, a lot of Asians are dark skinned. I mean, it's not like you can't go to Thailand or Cambodia. You can get dark skinned. You can still get dark skinned people from other places. A lot of Mexicans are dark skinned. A lot of Latinas are dark skinned. What y'all talking about? At least brownish, you know what I'm saying? I mean, dark skin is on the extreme of white. You know, that's nothing y'all don't understand. Y'all don't understand extremes. Yeah, we call ourselves black, but we not black. I got a black hat on, a black shirt. We not black people. There's a spectrum of so-called color ranges. Black and white are the extremes. That's why we call them white, call us black, because we are the opposite. We are the other extreme of them. Not so much racially, physically. We are the extreme, the opposite extreme of them spiritually, intellectually, you know, by our moral code, our connection to God. We are opposite of them. So if you raise your children, teaching them to be more like them, you might as well not have kids. If you continue to raise your children under European indoctrination, you might as well not have kids. You might as well not have kids. Because the way we going right now, I say we got about 200 years and we out of here. That's it. That's it. So we need to understand what makes a culture. What defines a culture? And we need to get back to the basics of a culture. We at one time were not materialistic. We did not worship money. We did not think it was cool to want to work your entire life till you about to die. That was not a badge of honor. We believe more in family. We invested more in socializing. These days you go to a black club, nobody even talk to each other. Everybody sit around looking stupid. Girls don't even want to dance with the brothers. Come on, man. We got to get away from that, man. Y'all letting them dangle extinction over our heads and y'all are capitulated to them. Listen to people like Dr. Umar Johnson. You're thinking only black woman, only black woman. The black woman is thinking, no, I rule you for the white man because that's really her man. When the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, beware of the white man's woman, he was talking about the black woman. He wasn't talking about white women. Man, y'all don't want to get me started. Because I'm telling you, if y'all listen to me, them black women going to change. They're going to change themselves within 20 years. You won't have none of them talking about feminism within 20 years. You won't have none of them talking about intersectionality within 20 years. You won't have none of them talking about, I'm a strong black woman within 20 years. You won't have none of them talking about, I need a man that's comparable to me because I got a college degree within 20 years. You listen to me, they going to break. Because we won't even say a word to them. We won't even speak to their asses when we walk down the street. You'll walk past them like you don't even see them because that's how they treat us. You treat them like they treat you. You've heard me say this 1,000 times. You treat people like they treat you. You keep the same energy. You look at me like I'm a piece of shit, I'm going to look at you like you're a piece of shit. Now what's next? You treat people how they treat you, and they treat us bad. They treat us terrible. They treat us horrible. They have no respect for us. They have no love for us. Treat them how they treat us. They walk past you in the street, looking up and looking down like they don't see you. You do the same damn thing. You walk past their ass and don't see them. Oh, y'all don't really want to know how I really live. I'm telling you, but if all of them got scooped up in a spaceship tomorrow, I wouldn't even notice. If all the black women in America was to disappear tomorrow, it'd probably take me a month before I even notice they're gone. That's how much of a non-factor in my life they actually are. And I don't hate them. I don't hate them. So my brothers, I'm telling y'all, y'all have to start mating with other women because we are on the extinction list. We are about to go. Do not let black women dangle extinction of our people over our heads if we don't capitulate to their demands. Don't do that. We are the men. They're supposed to be supporting us. They're supposed to be following us. They don't want to do it. Go get some women that will. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Till next time, I'm here, Brother Kush, aka the Black Y'all.